You know, it's that time of the week again.
It is Monday Night Mission with Dan, Marty, Hottie, and
the man that has nearly blown the roof off of every major arena, not just around the country, but around the globe. The man that led Men on a Mission to Tag Team Championship Gold in the World Wrestling Federation in Rocked MSG like it's never been rocked before at WrestleMania 10. I don't know how his name can only have 5 letters, but he is the man on a mission, Oscar. Brand new Monday Night Mission begins now.
there are so many missions.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we invite you to join former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Justin Credible, also Aldo Montoya, from the WWF New Generation era in the mid-90s for a live episode and cyber autograph session for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this Saturday night, December the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for Wrestling Insider's Extreme as we help Santa update his GPS to find every kid this Christmas. Order your 8x10 photos now. Visit bostonwrestling.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to a special Tuesday night pre-WWE NXT installment of the Monday Night Mission here on Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marty, here in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, the zip code of champion, joined with the one, the only, the guiding light of the WWF Tag Team Champion Men on a Mission in 1994. He's a man that's nearly blown the roof off of every venue in the United States and around the globe 2 times over. I could only be talking about the one and the only, the man on a mission himself, Oscar. Oscar, how are you this week, my friend? It feels like I haven't talked to you in eons, even if it's only been, 8 days?
Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing?
Well, I understand not as good as you. You just had a fine breakfast cooked by Mimi as we record this.
Yep, she made, scrambled eggs and potatoes and ham and sausage and biscuits. It was like being at a hotel. It was wonderful.
All for a Tuesday morning breakfast.
All for a Tuesday morning breakfast. That's why she's dreamy.
What did you do to deserve this fine breakfast? I mean, there's got to be something.
What did I do to deserve the fine breakfast? But see, you know what?
Mimi must have slaved for hours over a hot stove. That almost sounded like running off a Thanksgiving dinner.
That's what love is.
That's love.
You don't have to
Eating
do
a free meal.
Specific to deserve nothing. You just do it because it's Tuesday.
All right. Well, I guess Mimi wasn't busy with the doing a little Brutus beefcake action today. She had the day off.
Nah, she ain't got the day off. You know,
she's working and she still made you that big breakfast?
You know, no, not working per se. It's like, okay, she's been involved. She had the poor girl, she had an aunt die not too long ago.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry about that.
Her favorite uncle just passed recently, and she's been in charge of doing the obituary, and she's gonna MC the funeral on Saturday. So, besides that, and then making time to try to put up the Christmas tree, and then she's got a girlfriend in town that have been going through some problems that we flew into town to kind of like, get her away from Indiana. So her dance card has been just full, but she found a time to come and make breakfast.
Well, what's going on with the baby, Oscar?
That you know what, I believe that's it doesn't look like that's gonna happen.
There will be no baby.
Yeah, there's so much turmoil going on that side of the fence till it looks like it looks like we will get to see her and spend time with her. That's the good news.
Yeah.
She's out here in Atlanta from what I could understand. But the plan to to keep her, I think that's either stalled or dead in the water.
That might be for the best at this point. I don't know, Oscar.
I don't, it might be, but I'm kind of hurt by it because I was looking forward to it.
You wanted the baby.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be afraid that the baby might be crawling around and you do another one of those hellacious Mick Foley-like bumps out of your recliner like you had a few years ago.
That? Yeah, no, I understand that, but yeah, well, like you said, it might be for the best. Oh, the other bad news.
We got more. What other bad news do we got?
I did not get the Oscar nomination.
Grammys, wasn't it?
The Grammy nomination. I'm sorry.
You're stealing your own. You're giving yourself your own award.
I know. I didn't make them. I didn't make movie one. Yeah, I didn't get the Grammy nomination.
How did you find out? Did they alert you that you didn't get it, or you just weren't in the?
No, they had the nominations on television. No, online. I'm sorry. And they announced everybody who was nominated, and alas, my name did not come up. But I mean, everybody who got the nomination was a world-class musical performer. You talking Kanye West and Kendrick Lamar and all the biggest names in rap in the world right now. So yeah.
Well, like I noted before, win, lose, or draw, just to be in the have your name in the game certainly must make you feel good and must make you hungry for more.
No, but no. I don't sneeze at where I am in the process. That came completely off guard, by surprise, and you're right. I have every reason to be proud to be on the Grammy radar with this music, so that's a win-win.
It's like saying you were on the pre-show at WrestleMania this year. It's nothing to sneeze at.
No. You hit it right on the head. You're right. I don't take that lightly. I'm so proud of that.
Well, do you want to sing more?
Well,
are you going to sing more?
No, you know what? Let me tell you something. When I made this album, I did not make it. I put it like this. I made the Grammy nomination. I did that without even trying. I mean, I wasn't salivating at the mouth when I was writing the music, talking about, it's got to be Grammy worthy. I just did it. I just took the topics and just did it. So I'm like, okay, so imagine if I was really trying to write some hits.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you took the time. Like? Yeah,
right.
Well, you did it. Now there's only one more thing you got to do, which is pick it. But that's a different story for a different time, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of that, okay, 2 weeks gone from the situation. Have you decompressed? How does it look like? How's the documentary coming? Are you still pissed off?
Oh, I'm still pissed off about so many different things. It isn't even funny. There's been so much that's been going on. I still haven't had a chance to see maybe more than 30 seconds of the event itself. There's still that, I told you about that confusion with some of the tickets, where once we had to change the theme of the event from the 90s to the 80s and flip it from November to April, we gave the fans different options. And, I would think with the amount of tickets that we sold, there would have been a lot more physical human beings at Memorial Hall November 13th. So it's a process still of trying to reach out to every individual just to make sure we know what we have for inventory when we have our Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s event back on April 16th. And that is eating up so much of my time. I think I just finished trying to do that late last night. And that it's been one hit after another. I'll say I'm proud of myself, though, Oscar. I think I haven't, you need to see the video. I actually had to go in and out of New York City on Black Friday. And for me to actually break myself away from this studio, it had to have been pretty important. So I went out.
Go to New York? What'd you go to New York for?
Well, we can't get into that on the air right now, but we're working on some really cool things for our great fans. So on the way back, I'm not very familiar with the New York transit system as far as trains and so on and so forth. And the price for an Uber was over $100. So I figure I'll take the subway for $2 and save a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. So I took I believe it was the A train. No, the E train, all the way to, they said, go to the last stop. Well, that was wrong. It was the second to the last stop. So I was getting, worried about my flight. I flew out at 11:45 p.m., got back on the train, hopped on to that, whatever the stop would have been. Got off, asked the man at the, where you enter and exit. I said, what is the quickest way to get to I think they call it the air train. The air train to get to the JetBlue terminal. He goes, go all the way down the end up the stairwell. It's the first train on the right. I said, okay. So I went down. It was a hell of a long walk. Then I see an elevator, and it's like, like there's gold coming out of it. So I go to press the button, and there's no button on the elevator, which I found to be very odd, okay? So I said, all right, well, the stairwell's right here. So I go in the stairwell. I go up the stairwell, and you know me, with the hips sometimes and the feet, I'm not well versed at long stairwells depending upon the day. And this, believe me, was one of those days. So I make it up the first stairwell. Then I turn again to head up the second one. I look up, and guess what was there?
What's that?
A wall.
Wow. Oh, you went all the way up the stairs to get to a wall.
So I had to go back down the stairs to the doors to try and head back to where I came from. And guess what?
What's that?
The doors were locked. You have to see the footage. I almost ripped the door off. I mean, I was pulling. I was banging. I was screaming, help, help. 10 to 15 minutes this went on for. All these people are getting, all of these people, what?
Y'all was filming all this?
No, I just to show people what had happened, I taped maybe 15 seconds of it, just to give them the idea of the insanity, the world that is Dan Marati. But and I just kept banging and banging, and there's people getting off, and they're looking at me like I have three heads. I mean, it was almost like a horror movie where the murderer was...
You was in New York. You wasn't going to get no help right away, if at all.
Well, I figured maybe someone, as they were walking back up towards the front, would have told the guy working there, saying, there's someone trapped in your stairwell. But anyway, after, like I said, probably 10 to 15 minutes at least, someone on one of the upper floors must have heard the banging coming from underneath them. And they came down. I don't know if it was a maintenance elevator or whatever it was. You needed to have some kind of a card to swipe to access it. And she came out and let me out and looked at me like I was insane. I said, I'm so sorry about your doors. My hands were pink from smashing the door repeatedly to try and get out, but I didn't want to miss my flight. It was 11:45 at night, and I don't think there were any more after that. And I certainly did not want to pay for a New York City hotel over the locked door. And I said, where is it that I'm supposed to go? And she pointed. I was about 8-10 feet away. The idiot told me there was a stairwell I had to climb. She said, no, there's no stairs. It's this one. Just go to Terminal 5 at JetBlue. So you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit. Well, 19 hours of my day went to that excursion in New York City, and I am, I will say, eternally grateful for the opportunity. I did get to have fun for about 45 minutes of the trip, but the rest of it was just, it was almost like John Candy and Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, what was fun about it?
I always enjoy going to New York City. You know, when I have time to breathe. I had a nice meal, a productive endeavor. hopefully some stuff we're going to be able to bring back and show the fans. I'm probably going to be doing it again sometime soon. As a native New Yorker, Oscar, I know that the city must place a very special place in your heart.
Yeah, no, I was sitting here going, I don't know why he didn't tell me he was going. Next time you go, we need to make arrangements for me to get there because you need somebody to help you navigate the situation. Because no, you don't got to take an Uber. No, you don't got to take a cab. Navigate the subways is kind of an adventure. It can be if you don't know what you're doing. It's easy to get lost, but yeah, you have to have somebody that know where they're going.
I'll give New York City props. It's a much better subway system than we have here in Boston, but it was still confusing. But man, when I say this was planned last minute, if I went Friday, this was probably like Tuesday night. I think we were putting the finishing touches on it because it was very, very, very unexpected. And because I guess of the holiday weekend, it was actually cheaper to fly than it would have been just to take the train, which is why I flew.
Yeah, now you took the E-train to the airport. Now, what they used to have and what they still should have, I don't know. They used to have a train that went right to the airport.
Yeah, that's called the air train.
Yeah, it has a plane on the front of it.
Yes, that's the one where that is where I got locked in the stairwell. I got to text you the video once we're done, as I think you and Mimi will get a kick out of my 14 seconds of hell that I recorded. Just a Dan adventure, but you know what? What a city, what a place. Nothing against our home here in Boston, but there's just something special about New York. Where in New York are you from, Oscar? Is it Brooklyn?
I'm from downtown Brooklyn.
And tell us about downtown Brooklyn, for those of us that have never been there. Is it near the Barclays Center, or I'm not too familiar with Brooklyn?
I live 10 minutes. I lived about a 15-minute walk from the Barclays Center in the projects called Ingersoll Houses, which, we don't call it that. We just call it the area Fort Greene, which is basically what the Barclays Center is. So I am from Fort Greene, Brooklyn. It was really nice. I lived in the projects. We was about a 15-minute walk from downtown Brooklyn, where all the stores are. Now, it's changed a lot. Mm-hmm. When I was little, there was no Sheraton Hotel or no Marriott, big, gigantic, luxurious Marriott. They built it up. The last time I went, I took Mimi to show her about 4 years ago exactly where my roots are, where I'm from. And to my surprise, I mean, it was like totally different, totally changed. There was Chinese people, there was white folks in the neighborhood, things that you never saw when I lived there coming up. We had one white family when I first got there when I was little. I remember them, Bobby and Jimmy. And a couple of years after I got there, even Bobby and Jimmy left. And you would not dream of the neighborhood, the projects being diversified. But they are now. I'm sure that the apartments there are way, way, way different. I didn't get to see one. I wanted to see my old one, but the people were kind of skittish and scared, so I didn't get to see it. Yeah, it was scared. The guy lived with his grandmother, and he asked her, but because I really wanted to see my.
Oh, you actually went up to the door.
No, I went to the building.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I saw my windows where my mother used to stick her head out and be like, "Y'all come on upstairs for dinner." Or y'all know it's getting dark outside, so get upstairs. I was able to see my windows where she threw the ice cream money down. It was so many memories. One of my bestest friends still lived there. I got to hang out with him. It was a really good time. And then when it started getting dark, I told Mimi, okay, it started to get dark. We got to get out of downtown.
Would you ever like to go back to the Big Apple, or are you happy in hot Atlanta now?
No, no. I love visiting New York. I love shopping in New York, catching a show in New York. But no, I know I would never live in New York again. No, I've had my fill of that.
we get to the bottom of that then. But like I said, nice trip, but just the end was just insanity. I was so afraid I was going to miss my flight and be trapped there. I mean, again, this coming from the guy that booked one for 11:45 p.m. But yeah, I didn't know how long. I was told it was kind of a long, even subway ride if I went that route, and it was a very long subway ride. I mean, I probably left Times Square about maybe 8:15 just to try and get there by 11:45 between the subway, the air train, and to try and be at that. And I wasn't even at the airport anywhere close to 2 hours before departure because of that insanity that I had to deal with, getting off at the wrong stop, getting on the train, and then getting locked in the stairwell. So it was a true Dan Marati adventure for those that like to laugh at my pain. And then I was excited. We were going to have our friend Justin Credible back in studio to tape more episodes of Wrestling Inside is Extreme, where he's a hop, skip, and a jump away in Connecticut. And I guess he didn't use technology maybe the way it's meant to be used in 2021, and he ran into holiday hell traffic trying to drive up to the point where it just wasn't worth it. So he's going to drive up early this coming Saturday, where hopefully, knock on wood.
What day did he try to come?
What's that?
What day did he try to come?
It would have been Sunday, because I couldn't do New York and then have him come the next morning.
He wasn't going to be able to circumvent that on Sunday, no matter what he did.
Or leave very, very early, one or the other.
No, he wasn't going to. I don't care.
He had no chance.
Okay, you got to understand how it works. Tuesday and Wednesday is hell because people trying to get to family. And on Sunday, everybody, and I do mean everybody by rail, road, sky, is trying to get back. So those are the worst days to try to travel.
I have had a lot of traveling experience that has had nothing to do with Thanksgiving visits when it comes to that week. Between the time the Sheik and I thought were going to be arrested in Canada when he was looking for various substances, so to speak, when he was booked on a reality TV show. In Canada, obviously, Thanksgiving, I believe, is in mid-October. So to them, it wasn't a holiday. But for us trying to get home, it certainly was a rush. In 2019, we took the Little Marathis almost booked as soon as this craziness in New York City. I think we only booked our trip to Orlando 2 or 3 days before we went down back in 2019 Thanksgiving week and actually celebrated Thanksgiving there. And then, like I said, if you asked me last Tuesday morning, what am I doing Friday, I probably would have shrugged my shoulders and said, been at the studio. But then this interesting opportunity came to be, and I said, you know what? Why not? Let me try. I was here, again, to show my dedication to these fine fans, Oscar, that we love so much. I was outside of an hour and a half, I was here all day on Thanksgiving, all day Thanksgiving Eve, trying to get all the productions ready for them to enjoy while I was away and locked in a stairwell, like I was a prisoner of war almost. So it was an interesting week. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next year. I don't know. But what did you do for Thanksgiving with Mimi and the rest of the posse?
Thanksgiving, I just had a couple of good friends over. She cooked the turkey and a ham and some roast beef.
Jesus.
And mac and cheese and some stuffing. My favorite dessert, banana pudding
and Mimi.
And no, actually,
Mimi isn't your favorite dessert.
She's my favorite dessert.
Oh, all right.
But
just
no, I didn't
us.
get to have her. She was over her brother's house where they fried a turkey.
How is fried turkey? I've never had it.
Fried turkey is excellent. You have got to try it.
Oh, well, now you're making me. I did enjoy the turkey that I did have, but I've never had fried turkey, and I've always wanted to try it.
He won't, but see, you got to be careful because many people have burnt their house down.
They've burned their house down for making these fried turkeys. Yeah.
Making fried turkey. So he has the apparatus in his garage.
Oh, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, where it's safe to do it. And he has a special pot that he does it in that you do fried turkey in.
It almost looks like a big tank, right?
Yeah, so everything is controlled. So yeah, he makes. But no, you want to try fried turkey.
I wonder where the hell you could get one. Outside, because you know me, I can't cook, but I'm trying to think of where could you get a fried turkey? Would they sell it in like a store or a restaurant or?
Yeah, you just gotta Google fried turkey. Fried turkey.
Just Google
near me.
fried turkeys. All right.
Yeah, there's restaurants that fry turkeys.
Well, now I'm getting hungry, Oscar, and even though it's going to be before NXT when the fans at home are listening to it, it's just right around lunchtime here, and my gourmet lunch is usually.
Ask them to fry you a turkey at the Kowloon. They might even do it there.
I don't know if they serve turkey at Kowloon.
I don't know if they serve turkey.
Well, I'll have to ask Andy. Maybe they'll do it as a special for me. But maybe for Christmas I'll have a nice fried turkey. I don't know. I imagine on Christmas Day I'll probably be here. But the fun we have. But it'll be good to have Just Incredible with us on Saturday as we continue the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlock Toy Drive disaster. As you recall, Oscar, tonight was the night we were supposed to be headed down south to Florida with 6 cases of equipment. All of our friends that live in Tampa were going to drive by and do us some nice favors and courtesies to try and help the cause where they know we're working with limited income, and then that low-life, classless person with no integrity whatsoever stabbed the toy drive in the knife, with a knife in the heart, and I'm still angry about it. I can't believe the money that has gone to waste, the appearances that were ruined, the content that didn't get recorded, and you know what? People say relax, calm down, so on and so forth, but when it's your baby, it's kind of tough to calm down about it when you're mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing I can do at this point, but I'm still mad about it.
I'm taking a look. There's in your area.
You're looking at fried turkey for me as I'm angry about the toy drive. You're trying to soothe me over with fried meat.
To deflect that. Poor Child and Gold Belly is where you can order a fried turkey.
Gold Belly?
Yeah, Gold Belly.
Does it have a city?
No, I guess you order. I'm looking at.
What am I supposed to do? Open the front door at the studio and say, Gold Belly, my belly wants a fried turkey.
No, you idiot. You order it.
Well, I'm going to Google it myself if it's close by. I mean, I don't really need the whole turkey just for me. Maybe Linda would make me No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't. Linda definitely would. Linda,
you gotta, like I said, you just can't tell anybody because they have to know what they're doing.
Linda doesn't know much. I shouldn't say that on the air, but some things Linda doesn't know. She knows how to try and hustle free vacations as she's been doing this week, but I don't have the time. It's Toy Drive month.
Yeah, there's a place called the Smoke Shop in Kendall Square, Buttermilk and Bourbon. These are restaurants. They have fried turkey.
I wonder if they deliver.
Buttermilk and Bourbon. Let's see, best.
Because I'm almost at the point now where I want to order one. I'm so hungry.
So, there's Phantom Gourmet. Order a deep fried turkey made safely. Okay. Yeah, there's places where you can get it. Now, Boston Market, they don't do the fried turkey. I was looking.
I think they used to. Did they not?
Yeah, no, but their turkey is whole roasted.
Oh, I see. Well, all right. Well, Oscar, we've eaten up, no pun intended, the first half of the show. Talking about, I felt like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone 2 running around New York City, getting trapped. And I'm pissed about my toy drive. What's that?
You did make the flight on time, right?
I did. Yes. Thankful to the wheelchair gentleman that was able to escort me to the gate, and it was a very light flight.
When you got physical challenges, you have got to get the wheelchair. The wheelchair, this is for everybody that don't know. Instead of hobbling to your gate,
in pain,
foot issues, in pain, sit your ass down and tell them you need a wheelchair. You get VIP treatment. You one of the first people. I don't care if the line through security is going outside. You one of the first people to get up to the counter to go in. You the first one on the plane. And I mean, and they treat you good. I tip them like customarily $5.
You give them $5.
I give them $5. You don't have to. You even have to. They might look at you.
No, there's no rule, but I mean, I think it's
rule,
common courtesy.
I think it's nice,
yeah,
especially if it's a long way.
Yes,
those people are conditioned to go from one end of the airport to the other, no matter how far it is. And they have really good humor about it. They don't, if they suck in their teeth or making a face, they behind you. You don't see it. And if you see it, don't feel bad. That's their job. So, like I said, don't take advantage of the situation.
Well, you want to know something? I can't believe I'm just remembering this now. I have an airplane. What will be a wheelchair pusher story? So listen to this. And sometimes there can be a language barrier with these individuals. So Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving, when I got to the airport, I needed my little assistance. And I get to the gate, and I said, because I didn't have any cash on me, I said, shit. I said, can you take a credit card? And he went, oh, yes. And he went to take it, and I said, are you going to scan it? He goes, no, I'll be back to push you on. And I'm like, wait a minute. So anyway, then they make an announcement that there was a gate change, and there was no one to try and help me. So I had to pack everything up on the chair and dash on over to the new gate with just a few, like you said, usually they put you right on when you're in the wheelchair, just so it doesn't create a crowd. But because of the timing of it at the last minute, I was one of the last people there, and I was in a state of panic. When I got to the gate, I'm saying to the gate agent, the guy in the wheelchair took my credit card and never came back. So then there were other wheelchair pushers that came up and were saying, no, we can't take cards. We can't take card. So I said, do you know his name? I said, no, I don't know his name. He pushed me, and I gave him my credit card. I was going to tip him. I guess they don't do credit cards for the tips. So eventually they found the man. He came back to the terminal as just about everybody had boarded the plane. And he said, oh, I thought it was a gift card. I said, it has my name on it.
Oh, my God.
So, but I'll tell you this, and I'm not the world's biggest American Airlines fan, but, what plush relaxation they put me in. I don't know if it was because a result of that, or I don't think I booked it purposely, but I don't know if you've sat in there. I don't know if you'd call it mid-tier seats, Oscar, but oh my God, you had an ottoman to put your feet up on and a little shelf, and TVs are kind of customary now, but it was better than first class on most flights, and this wasn't even first class.
You was in business class or something?
It must have been. I have no idea. I didn't book it. It was great.
Had all that. You was in American business. Now, I have not experienced the new American Airlines business. I've seen it on TV, and especially if I'm taking a long flight, I'm definitely going that route when I travel. I
don't know what the cost is, but I mean, if you can afford it, or if you can swing it with miles or something like that, dear Lord, I was in heaven. I said to myself, why couldn't I have been on the flight to the Cauliflower in Vegas in a spot like this instead of a 45-minute flight to JFK? But what are you gonna do? It was. I think American Airlines was great to me. I'm very grateful to them. Especially to I don't know the gate agent's name, but I would like to thank them where they were so kind to try and, go out of their way to get my credit card back literally minutes before the door was supposed to shut. I was worried I was going to have to call and cancel the credit card, and I didn't know this wheelchair pusher. God only knows what he could have been doing with the card. But for him to say he thought it was a gift card, it had my name on it.
Sometimes, even when you get to the gate agent or something, even if you ask, can you be put in a situation like that? They might even do it.
What do you mean?
If you ask.
If you ask them what?
Can I get upgraded? To business or something like that.
Well, I didn't. The only business I was concerned about at that point was getting my credit card back. And the other wheelchair pushers were pissed that this guy took the card. But anyway, all right, fans, we're getting the cue from the back. Oscar's getting some kind of a cue over there. We're going to take a brief time out, get ready for Saturday night. We got Just Incredible Live. We're trying to keep Marty Jannetty's program on the air. We got the Indiegogo campaign going. We got the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive Cyber Super Raffle going all month long. Check it out. We'll be back on the flip side with more from the man on a mission. Stand by. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Arguably the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Get this limited edition collector's autograph print personally signed by two-time WWE Hall of Famer Nature Boy Ric Flair, inscribed 16 times for each of his recognized World Championship reigns. One of only 50 made direct from our friends at WWE. Also signed by original artist Rob Schamberger. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome Ric Flair collectible for your wrestling collection now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we invite you to join former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Just Incredible, also Aldo Montoya from the WWF New Generation era in the mid-90s for a live episode and cyber autograph session for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this Saturday night, December the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for Wrestling Insider's Extreme as we help Santa update his GPS to find every kid this Christmas. Order your 8x10 photos now. Visit bostonwrestling.com. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to the Monday Night Mission, even though, yes, I realize it's Tuesday. I know AEW Dark is on tonight. I know WWE NXT is on tonight. I know because of Just Incredible not being with us on Saturday, Sunday, I should say, as we intended. We're going to have a mini marathon of some of his episodes to catch you up on his life, his career, his early days in ECW, as we prepare to tape more LIVE Live Saturday night. For more information, head on over to bostonwrestling.com. But happy to be joined by Oscar. Yesterday was just such a mess, I guess. Oscar and I didn't even have a chance to tape. Now we're chewing the turkey about the turkey. So what's going on in the world of professional wrestling since we last spoke, Oscar? I'm so tired, I don't even remember. I'm drawing a blank on everything outside of the fact I was a prisoner at the air tram in New York City.
Well, last night was the 3 hour.
A 3 hour tour. A 3 hour tour.
3 hour tour of Monday Night Raw, which for the purposes of doing this show today, I watched from start to finish so I could speak intelligently about the goings on.
Dear Lord.
The first thing I want to bring up is I really wish to God that they would get Randy Orton away from that psycho Matt Riddle, because they have taken the persona, one of the best personas in wrestling, and have turned it into a comedy act. And it's not funny. It's not Orton. I'm almost sure that even he's uncomfortable with it because, you know, I can look and tell acting from in real life what a person is really thinking and what he's got to go with, I guess, what they tell him to go with.
Right.
But it is so bad, and his stock in my eyes done went down 70 points. Wow. Trying to maintain that situation.
Well, I look at it like this. Instead of maybe at the end of the story, it'll be to their credit. I think they're trying to play it out as long as they can to get through Mania season and give Orton a fresh opponent either April 2nd or April 3rd at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The funny thing is there really isn't a huge age gap between the two of them. Riddle is a lot older than he looks. Randy's only a couple of months older than me. So you're talking about a difference of about 4 years or so. I think I like Riddle bell to bell, but I think his promos are absurd and stupid. I think his scooter is absurd and stupid. I think his flip-flops are absurd and stupid, and I think his post-match antics are absurd and stupid. But when that bell rings, when he starts to work, till the moment the bell rings where the work ends, I think he's excellent.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with that, but you know, all that other stuff in between
kills the presentation.
It really does.
You think go ahead.
I don't think that in no way, shape, or form Randy Orton ever needed or ever will need a tag team partner for no reason whatsoever. He is one of the best singles talent that I have seen. I mean, the man was the legend killer. He went over on The Undertaker, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, outside of some of his matches with Bray Wyatt, in his body of work now going on 19 years on national television, I can't think of a bad feud, a bad series of matches he ever had. It's for whatever reason, he didn't click with Bray Wyatt in either one of their feuds. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty good considering he's been on television for the better part of 2 decades.
So, I mean, this is what I see happening. It's inevitable. He's going to turn on Riddle. I mean, I will hang a flag outside my house when that happens.
Who do you have go over at WrestleMania? Orton or the quote-unquote younger guy, Riddle, even though he's, I believe, closer to 40 than 30, or pretty close, on the bubble.
No, I'm not taking it that far.
No, you're not.
I'm not wishing that his opponent at WrestleMania was Riddle.
I think that's where they're going. I've thought that for a while.
I'm hoping that the turn comes, in the next month or so, whatever their feud is, they have it, and it's long said and done by the time WrestleMania get here and give Randy Orton a worthy WrestleMania opponent.
At this point, who hasn't he worked at WrestleMania that would be WrestleMania worthy?
I don't know.
If they turn him, he's going to go heel again. I think that would kind of eliminate Lashley from the equation. Bill Goldberg. I mean, you got slim pickings. No, I can't see it not being Riddle between me, you, and everyone that listens to the show. I could see a situation where maybe Riddle eliminates Orton from the Rumble, and that plants the seeds of tension between the two of them. Then maybe, I don't know if they're going to, well, they're not going to have, as of now, there's no traditional February pay-per-view. I think they're going to be back in the Kingdom of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, so who knows what the hell is going to go on over there. But, I mean, one thing, when you talk about a guy that's been in the company for the better part of 2 decades, that's a man that's been in a lot of WrestleManias. He's got a lot of WrestleMania experience under his belt. Who fresh could you put him in there with outside of Riddle? That's where I'm kind of at a loss. Maybe if I sat down with a pen and paper and looked at the rosters, but I mean, again, do you really want to see Orton and Goldberg? I don't think that's the best usage of Orton. Do you want to see Lashley would have to turn, I guess. I think him and Orton would probably have a really good match, but I think if I was going to put down $100 in Vegas, it would be Orton and Riddle at Mania.
All right, well,
we'll see.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it unfolds.
Well,
now moving on, this is a push that for the life of me, I do understand, but I don't understand. I think Liv Morgan has made all the right moves backstage. That's the only way that I could understand this going on with her. I mean, I do not think that she is nowhere near close. The talent as far as some of the other names in the women's division that earned that deserve the push that she's getting, and I believe that it's all going to be done and over with next week on with her match with the man. So I think it's over. I think it's over for Liv Morgan.
I agree with you on that. I mean, it shows the lack of depth that they have in the women's division. I think you saw just about everything and everyone they have in that 10 women's tag team match they had last night, and there wasn't much to write home about, so to speak.
No, I mean, I knew where it was going when they started it. I knew where it had to go. See, they had to put Liv Morgan over the way they put her over, to hype her up for her match with Becky Lynch next week. Had to. Just like the same thing with what match am I thinking about? They had to put Seth Rollins. They couldn't let Seth Rollins, no, that's not what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Well,
but anyway,
I look at it like this. They had horrible ticket sales leading up to the event. They did everything possible to try and have the first wrestling event in the new venue be a success. They added Roman Reigns. I don't know if it was a dark match or whatever he may have done last night off of television. They pushed SmackDown stars. They did ticket specials, maybe 2 for 1. And they had a rough night at the office. I think AEW is already outsold what they did last night, which is a coup for AEW. But, I mean, when you look at what they put on the main event of television, can you understand why the ticket sales were so lackluster? I mean, is there anyone out there that wants to see Big E as the world champion when you had Lashley that was so hot, and I complimented them all winter, all spring, all summer on they were doing for the job to build him up. Then we go out to the Cauliflower Alley Club in Vegas. Raw comes to Boston, and they have Big E do the worthless Money in the Bank cash in that at this point is so old, so stale, so overdone, and you put the title on someone that people don't care about. I mean, if Big E wasn't presented as a fool for the past 6 or 7 years, okay, maybe he'd be a guy given a try too. But when he's someone that you've convinced the fans to laugh at as if he's a joke, why would you put your prestigious championship on him and have a guy that was over as Lashley lose to him? I mean, granted, it was a post-match cash in and so on, but they haven't done anything to build up Lashley other than that little vignette they had last night to try and make him seem like the threat that he was for the majority of 2021. I don't think anyone wants to see Kevin Owens as a main eventer. I think Seth Rollins' gimmick has improved a little bit from the Monday Night Messiah, is the king of drip, but it still sucks. There's nothing there, Oscar. Right? The Raw roster is so weak, it's unimaginable to me. I think the best thing, outside of trying to get Orton away from Riddle just because it's not that good of a team. I think having Orton as a top guy, while he may not be young and fresh, at least he's credible.
Oh, yeah, I know what I was just thinking about. I was thinking about Finn Balor and the Monday Night used to be Messiah.
Oh.
You know, they had to put him over. See, that's the way it worked. You know, I mean, they got WWE on FanDuel right now. I need to be placing bets because I can pretty much, you know, I mean, with my experience, I can pretty much look at TV and I could, you know, talking. Me and Dreamer used to watch it together, and I used to be bored almost because I used to be, this is what's gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and this is why it's gonna happen. And 9.5 times out of 10, you know, I'm right, and it happens just the way I said that it was gonna happen. But you got to have a certain experience and eye for what you know, an eye for certain things. But I knew that Seth Rollins was definitely going to go over on Finn Balor because, you know, he's got the title match coming up.
Right.
So you cannot not put the guy who's in contention for the title match, who's chasing it, who's running that program. You can't beat him because you have got to hype him up for people who want to buy tickets to see that particular match. If he get beat, then
what's
that
the
takes
point?
That takes the fizz out of it.
Will you be at Day One in Hotlanta on January the 1st?
You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking about it, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's right down the street from your house, and you really don't even care.
And AEW is going to be like right outside tomorrow.
Where were they? Duluth?
Duluth. That's right outside my door.
Well, I know you got a lot of friends and connections in AEW. Are you going to make the journey over to see AEW Dynamite live?
I'm seriously thinking about it. But see, let me tell you the problem I got. And I ain't ashamed to say it because it's true. I have an apartment on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Now, it is like climbing Mount Everest.
You don't have an elevator.
No, hell no.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, you would have been like me when I got trapped in New York.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I can relate. I have that situation every time I call myself going out. I put it like this. I'm so fat, I get tired walking down the stairs. Now, you know that's bad.
Well, maybe it'll be good exercise for you.
I'm guessing it is. I'm hoping. I'm looking for it to get easier, but it ain't got easier yet. No. So it's got to be a very good reason for me to leave my house. I mean, I put it like this. Have you ever heard of Instacart?
I've heard the term. Is it like a delivery food service?
Yeah, you want to look into it because if you hate lugging groceries around, call Instacart.
Well, I only have 3 steps, so I'm not that bad.
Oh, good for you. But
you have 3 flights.
Steps, so yeah, when I gotta get my sodas and my waters, and I might as well order the rest of the stuff, I use Instacart. And Instacart, they lug all that stuff all the way up these stairs. It's beautiful.
Well, what about Mimi? Does she have an easy time with it?
No.
Well, why did you move there then?
Oh, I mean, we had to we needed an apartment.
Well, an elevator wasn't one of the prerequisites?
We didn't have man, let me tell you something. We didn't have a choice, to be honest.
You had to go.
We had to take the first place that said yes, with your bad credit and your circumstances. Yes, congratulations, you can move in here. So we had to make do with what we had.
Are you looking still for a new place?
No, we got a 1-year lease.
Oh, all right.
So we'll get a house. Our house will be our next move.
Well, you're You're going to be so thin, you're going to look like a piece of paper turned sideways by
Well, that is the goal. That's the prayer, and that's the dream. And hopefully that'll happen. But we done got off the subject.
We
was
did.
Talking about.
We always do.
Okay, I know. I know, right? We was talking about, okay.
Finn Balor doing a job. Do you think it's about time they say, you know what? At least Finn is over, and he's much more marketable as the Demon than he is as just plain old happy-go-lucky Irish Finn, who I think the world of. He's a good friend. He competed here in Boston Wrestling MWF before he went to Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling. But as far as his presentation goes now, I think people have seen the leather jacket. I think they've seen him smile. I think they've seen enough. I think the Demon Finn Balor in moderation would really spicing things up a little bit.
Well, first of all, I love his entrance. That is some of the coolest music and just his whole persona coming out is beautiful. I think he's they wasting that talent. I mean, they done wasted it. They done made him a elevated job guy. And,
wow.
And I hate to see it because he's capable. He's capable of so much more. But okay, all that aside, here's what I'm really, really, really interested in.
What do we got?
Vince McMahon's return to television.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot to mention that. I'll let you take it from there.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm hearing rumors. Now, I don't believe everything I read, okay? Because I read a bunch of stuff. I just read Alexa Bliss got fired. Is that true or untrue?
I don't know anything about that, if it is true. If it is,
okay.
I hate to say it because I think she's a lovely individual, but they just absolutely stomped the life out of her value by turning her into someone dressed for Halloween year-round in a way that wasn't over. It was uninteresting. No one wanted it. No one wanted to see it. Where the Fiend is gone now, and it almost makes sense. As I said as it was going on, what are you going to do when this storyline comes to an end? I mean, are they going to have an exorcism like they did for Deidre Hall on Days of Our Lives? I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, back to Vince.
Yeah.
I'm hearing rumors that Tall Levesque Triple H is out as far as creative and being in charge of talent, that he's focusing more on the business end of things. Mm-hmm. What do you make of that? Have you heard that? Does that make sense?
Well, I think I don't think he's never not been in that position. I think maybe they're taken away to give him, if that's true, a little bit more focus on it. He's been one of the key people that they've wanted to have in that position for a long time now. He hasn't been a full-time competitor in the squared circle going back to 2010. I think the last time he was, full-time on the road would have been early 2010 before WrestleMania 26 when they did the little unknown DX farewell tour where Shawn would lose ultimately his retirement match against The Undertaker when they did the streak versus the career, which I thought was very well done. But, he's had health problems this year. He had problems with his heart, so maybe he's still recouping. But, there were pros and cons from what I saw with Vince last night. It's always good to see. I like Vince in moderation. Again, I use the term moderation. He definitely doesn't need to be a weekly or a regular character at this point. I think Austin Theory is someone that they really could push. He seems to have, by 2021 standards, decent size. He's got a good look. He's well-spoken. I just think they shouldn't have him be subservient to a 75-year-old man. You know what I mean? When Vince slapped him and he sat in the chair selling it the way he did. And, I could have seen him get up maybe and get in Vince's face a little bit and say, look, I want to learn from you. I want to see what it takes to get to the top and represent your company. But don't you put your hands on me. Give it back to him instead of just sitting there like a teenage boy that was castrated.
The only person that ever got away with doing that was Stone Cold.
Fair enough, but I mean, you know what?
Everybody else.
That was 25 years ago.
I know, but that's my point. everybody else because they don't know no better, or everybody else because, okay, look at the releases that's going on. People getting fired at the drop of a dime or the drop of a hat. Everybody gonna let Vince get away with whatever the hell Vince want to get away with. And I'm not just talking about on TV.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Who you see standing up to him like that?
In real life or on television?
Yeah.
In real life, probably no one.
No one.
On television, if they want to groom this Austin Theory as one of their top heels, I think it would be a very effective way to do it, to have him grow a set of balls and be more confrontational with Vince if they decide to continue this storyline. I think on paper, without knowing where they're going with it, I think it's an excellent idea. Again, I just wouldn't treat him as someone with no spine and no backbone. Granted, Vince is the boss, but he's a 75-year-old man. See, if you want to build a ruthless heel that's going to be aggressive and violent and vicious, he stands up and says, "Fuck you, Vince. Don't you put your hands on me," without using those words, but that attitude.
Vince is going to say on TV, if he stand up to him like that, then Vince is going to do what? Say, "You're fired."
Or maybe you could go this route. As Vince, ages a little bit, maybe Vince is impressed that someone had the balls to stand up to him, where he's so used to people kissing his character's ass.
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
Is he going to be doing this in another 10 years?
I see where it makes sense. But the thing is, especially on TV, Vince cannot be seen to let anybody get away with that, because then everybody gonna feel like they can do it in Vince's mind. And if I was Vince, I would be thinking the same thing. So if he wanted to get up in my face, then if for no other reason, I gotta set an example. This is on TV and off to go deeper with it.
I'll say this: I agree with you to the point where everybody can't do it, but there needs to be one guy that does it. And then that one guy, I think they can really do something special with. Now, is Austin Theory that guy? I don't know. I think he has the tools. I think there's a lot of moldable clay there. But when you can't treat him like a comedy goofer, it's never, ever going to work. It'll just be another long list of failures.
I'll put it like this. Here's where I agree with you. You know who could do that? Randy Orton. Randy Orton got more maturity. Randy Orton got more skin in the game, and he got more years, and he's more of a commodity that is harder to let go. Austin Theory just got here. So if he gets fired, in my mind, it's of no consequence.
Well, this is why I think Theory's a good idea. In 20 years, he could possibly still be full-time at his age. In 20 years, Orton hopefully will be long done.
Yeah, but who cares about 20 years from now today?
Well, that's how you should be thinking. Who are the next superstars you're going to have to put on the marquee?
I understand all that, but this young upstart that just got here ain't finna get up in my face for all to see.
Well,
that sets a very dangerous precedent.
Look at how old their roster is right now. Virtually every top guy they have on Raw is in their 40s. Or pushing 40, or late 30s, mid-30s. They need a fresh crew of young talent. Look at what happened when they went the route of the Attitude Era in the late 90s. What was one thing all of those guys had going for them? Even Undertaker was only in his early 30s at that point. It was a young, fresh roster. Right now, it's old, it's stale, it's overexposed, it's boring. Is Austin Theory new? Yes. Would they be gambling on someone that's an unknown commodity to them long term? Yes. But you know what? Austin was only around for about a year before they gave him that giant push and let him go with 316 and the middle finger and everything he did to set the world on fire. I don't have that expectation of Austin Theory, but could you turn him into a high-class, high-quality main event level heel for a decade or two to come if pushed right? Absolutely. Someone's got to take a bullet. Vince has got to take a bullet from someone. He's in his mid-70s. Let's call a spade a spade. He's one of the great characters in the history of WWE. He's one of the great announcers in the history of WWE. He created a worldwide phenomenon in WWE. But he's not a dangerous physical man anymore. And at some point, someone's got to kind of put him in his place. And you know what? Whoever that person is someone you need to be able to count on to carry the ball to make some money with. They have no one on Raw right now that's going to make them any money. I think Randy Orton is great. I think it's crazy to say it. He's a 13-time world champion, but I think he's one of the more underrated top guys of all time, where his work has been so good for 19 years, but he's in his 40s now. They have to start thinking 5-10 years down the line, who is going to be there? Lashley's aging, Orton's aging, AJ's aging. All those guys are older than I am. Big E, I believe, is in his mid-30s, if nothing else. Owens might not even be within the company in a couple of months. His contract is coming due, and I find him very stale and boring. I've told you my thoughts on the Rollins thing. I find that stale and boring. What is there on Raw to make someone want to tune in? I think the world of Finn. Finn is my age. He's got to be 40, 41, 39, somewhere right in that age range. They need a youth movement. And this kid, if nothing else, I hate to use the word kid because that makes me sound old, but I think Theory has got something special about him, and you've got to at least try. Try to do something new with someone to make them a valuable commodity instead of just someone they job out to the old guard that's been there, that isn't getting any younger by the day, and you got to try and come up with something new, or the show is just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Your opinion?
Speaking of something new, I was almost saddened last night when Edge came back.
Why is that?
There was something major just missing. And I mean, it's not one of those comebacks where I can get excited about. I mean, they trying to start a program up with The Miz, and I just cannot get behind it. I can't get excited about it. I can't look forward to it. And it's just something about Edge. It's just, I'm like, I love you, dude, but I really wish you would just go back and sit down some damn where.
You know where I
yeah.
You know where I see it going?
Where?
Miz and Maurice with Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix?
Edge's wife, yeah.
Where's she at?
Well, she does the commentary on NXT now, but I see them leading to a mixed tag team match that I don't think will set the world on fire. But, you know what, granted, does it seem like they're building this up for a major pay-per-view? No. And if it was, I think it would be a disappointment. But you know what? If it's a way to put Edge on that day one pay-per-view in Atlanta without him blowing through a WrestleMania quality, SummerSlam quality match, I don't see too much of an issue with it. I don't think Miz is a very credible, dangerous heel or anything like that. I think he's someone you feed to Edge to build him up for a bigger pay-per-view. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, oh, man, I don't know. I think The Miz is better at reality shows now.
He's another one. This is a guy you wouldn't think it, but he's 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know? Everybody's old. They need to get some new guys over.
I think he's in the ring talented, but, I mean, his gimmick to me is just about over. It's just over, and it's just over and done with. Just stale. I mean, I don't know. I used to believe wholeheartedly that SmackDown was the inferior product.
Not anymore.
No, it's not.
It's not
SmackDown
even close.
By far is beating Raw hands down every week. I mean, you got the Usos who are still on fire. I still get excited when I see him. Roman Reigns, I still get excited when I see him. Paul Heyman's still making me laugh. And now Brock Lesnar's coming back on SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, it's the much more watchable show, in my opinion. But anyway, Oscar, we are kind of running out of time on this show. We've had some laughs, some memories, some thoughts, observations on the state of WWE and the future of it. Overall, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you have given Raw last night?
Oh man, Raw got a solid 3.
3. I would probably have gone about a 4 myself. I've seen worse, but you'd think in a new building that they were looking to try and pop, maybe they could have had a few more bells and whistles. I hate them, and this is coming from someone that always says pacing, patience, and so on. But, you know, at that building last night, I think needed it. During the main event, it felt dead to me. I don't know what your thoughts were during the Big E Kevin Owens match, but it felt like the fans were sitting on their hands waiting to see Roman Reigns after the camera went off.
I mean, I was I was disappointed when The Rock didn't show up at Survivor Series.
Well,
so what I don't get at the end of any show now, I'm just not surprised.
that was too much of a cock tease with the Rock at Survivor Series. I think
that was terrible.
If you wanted to do one montage video saying, oh, it was 25 years ago tonight, that's cool. But to build the storyline in about the egg from his movie, and then they must have had at least 4 or 5 flashback videos of him. For him not to be there, it was too much. My opinion.
Yeah, no. I agree with you because I wholeheartedly, now that's where I would have lost my FanDuel money, because if I'd have said put all of it, is The Rock coming tonight at the end, I would have bet the whole wad on there, and then when he didn't show up, it would have been like at 0.
You would have.
Then I would have had some explaining to do.
You would have bet the farm, and you're on the 3rd story of an apartment.
The farm that he was coming, and I would have lost the farm, and the house, and the stable, and the garage, and my other apartment across town.
And you might have lost Mimi, depending upon how much you put down.
Oh my God! Yeah.
You wouldn't have been getting the breakfast this morning.
Nope. I'm going to stay with my brother.
All right, fans. Again, we had a lot of fun this week with Oscar. Hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be back in our traditional time slot of Monday night this coming week as I prepare for yet another big week. We got so much going on behind the scenes that I can't tell you about yet. It's really cool, but we want to remind you.
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Well, I'm going back to NYC, baby.
No, don't go nowhere when you get off, because I want to know what happened. The hell did you go there and get lost up?
I got to send you the video first. After you see the video, I think you'll understand and maybe even enjoy it even more. But just to get a few cheap plugs in, fans, it's Christmas time. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlock Cyber Raffle is going to be amazing. We're trying to plan a live Christmas party / special the weekend before Christmas. A lot up in the air about that. We have Justin Credible, who's going to be with us live, the former ECW champion, the former Aldo Montoya, this Saturday night, December the 4th.
Wait, what? Question.
Yes.
How's that going? Are y'all get me one of those tickets to come or what?
Another one of our great ambassadors is trying to figure out how to utilize all of the leftover plane tickets we have from November the 13th. But I'm hoping we'll be able to have you join us. Again, it really depends on what the cost of the tickets are going to look like at that point. But I think the weekend before Christmas usually isn't too bad, right?
Yeah, well, that's the weekend. That's the weekend to do it. Yeah,
well,
I looked at the flights; they were next to nothing.
Well, we like that. Let me get the rest of the cheap plugs, and then we'll talk about that again. Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the former ECW World Champion, Justin Credible, with a special live Wrestling Insiders Extreme. We're going to be doing a cyber autograph signing for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive.
Sometime Montoya.
And Aldo Montoya, baby, the man that Ted DiBiase tried to buy the night of his Monday Night Raw debut. We're trying to put the Berzerker's airline tickets to use from when his dad unfortunately passed away in November. As he certainly owes us one under the cap, so to speak. I don't know what the future of the Marty Jannetty show is after Thursday night. It's up to you guys. The Indiegogo campaign is active as we speak. Check out some of the great prizes and rewards we have. Once we raise enough money on Indiegogo, Marty's going to be back to tape a whole new slew of episodes. But again, you guys, you're not just fans to us. You're not just friends to us. You're part of the team. You're la familia. So we need you to get involved in that. And again, if you're really looking for a really cool gift-giving experience, this is why it's almost, I look at it like a 2-for-1 Oscar. We're back with Boston Wrestling MWF's Soul Survivor 10, back to the 80s on Saturday night, April the 16th. You get VIP packages discounted, general admission tickets discounted now on bostonwrestling.com. But not only can you give these gifts as a ticket, but you're going to get an autographed Christmas card, including everything that comes with the package that you buy. So you get to see the fan on Christmas Day open the gift, be all excited. And then you have the anticipation of the actual event on April the 16th. We're here in Boston. We have to face what reality is. There are no stadiums that are going to be able to have WrestleMania in April. I could highly doubt them even having a SummerSlam, considering how far out of town the football stadium is. But we are going to bring you the legends and Hall of Famers that won't be in town for WrestleMania weekend when they're in Texas and Arlington. We're going to do it Saturday, April the 16th. Again, you get the best tickets in the house at the best price possible. The price goes up the closer we get to the event. It's almost like the airline tickets Oscar and I were talking about. So much going on. We're hoping we can have Marty back real soon beyond our I guess before the show maybe goes on a little mini hiatus on Thursday. And we're hoping when we have our live Christmas party, once all that is organized, the man on a mission himself is going to be here rapping like even Santa Claus can't do with the presents.
You know, I might even wear a Santa Claus suit and be a rapping Santa Claus.
Do you have one?
I can get one.
Yeah. Now, do you think Eartha Kitt, when she wrote Santa Baby, was talking about David Reese?
Probably so. he in that age category.
You think Reese and Kitt could have had a little something going on?
I don't know. Reese like him. He like him all kinds of.
Reese's Pieces, baby.
He like all kinds.
As long as they come out of the bag, he doesn't care about the color. Oh, we're really losing it now. All right, wrestling fans, for the man on a mission himself, Oscar, I am Dan Marati. I'm going to go edit this and make this magical for you because we're on 4 hours early tonight. Oh, my God. This life. For Oscar, I'm Dan Marati. We'll see you Monday, and we'll see you Saturday Night Live with Just Incredible. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be healthy, be well, Merry Christmas, good night from Boston and Hotlanta. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we invite you to join former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Just Incredible, also Aldo Montoya from the WWF New Generation era in the mid-90s for a live episode and cyber autograph session for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this Saturday night, December the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for Wrestling Insiders Extreme as we help Santa update his GPS to find every kid this Christmas. Order your 8x10 photos now. Visit BostonWrestling.com. Thank you for joining us. Please give the video a big thumbs up, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the channel to enjoy more great content. Don't forget, you can help keep wrestling legends working. Check out our eBay store and join the Boston Wrestling family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling so we can produce more in-depth shoot interviews.